Have you ever seen one of those ads? You know the ones, promising you can make money online with pretty much zero effort, all thanks to some revolutionary new AI. Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on exactly how those pitches work. Let's dive in and really deconstruct the psychology and the structure of a classic AI passive income sales blueprint. We're going to use its own script as our guide.
Okay, so any powerful sales pitch, it starts with a hook, right? Something that targets a really deep emotional desire. In this one, this is a masterclass. It's appealing to that part of all of us that just wants the path of least resistance. See, they're not selling a tool, they're selling a dream. The dream of financial freedom, of getting your time back, of an income that isn't tied one-to-one with your effort. And when they do that, it immediately bypasses all your logical objections and speaks right to that part of your brain that just wants an easier life.
So to really get how this all works, we're going to break it down into 5 key stages. We'll look at the core promise they make, the big, flashy data they use to make it seem real, the magic solution itself, the plan for how you actually make money, and then finally the psychological tricks they use to seal the deal. This is basically the anatomy of a modern digital sales funnel.
All right, so step 1. It's all about setting up that core promise. Before you can even think about selling a product, you have to sell the outcome. And the outcome here is, you got to admit, incredibly appealing. A completely automated, hands-off way to make money. Let's dig into how they frame this irresistible idea. This is just brilliant because it systematically dismantles every potential excuse you could have. Think about it. You might say, I don't have the time. Their answer? It's on autopilot. Or maybe, I'm not a tech person. They say, no tech skills needed. But I've never made a video in my life. Doesn't matter. The system does it for you. The whole point is to get the listener to think, hey, you know what? Even I could do that. It just removes every single barrier to entry, which makes the dream feel like anyone could grab it.
Okay, so they've sold you the dream. But a dream can feel kind of fuzzy, right? Distant. So the next critical step is to make it feel tangible, almost like it's destined to happen. And to do that, the pitch anchors this fantasy in some very large, very real numbers. This is the part where we shift from pure emotion to what feels like cold, hard logic and data. First up, they establish that the platform is legitimate. $2 billion paid out. Now, this number isn't about you earning that much yourself. It's about proving that this is a real functioning economy. It just tells your brain, okay, wow, there's real money changing hands here. Next, they zoom out and show you the bigger picture, $6 billion in ad revenue alone. This paints a picture of a massive flowing river of cash. And the subtle message there is that you don't need to be some huge star. You just need to dip a tiny bucket into this enormous river to get your share. And finally, 40 million active channels. Now, at first glance, that might sound intimidating, like a lot of competition. But in this context, it's actually framed as social proof. It's a classic psychological trigger that basically says, look, millions of other people are already doing this, so why aren't you? It makes the market feel huge, with plenty of room for one more person.
So, the dream is set. It's been grounded in some big data. And now it's time for the big reveal, the how. This is the part of the pitch where they introduce the product itself, and is positioned not as some complicated piece of software, but as a simple, almost magical machine that just turns your ideas into assets. The really crucial thing to see here is the illusion of simplicity. I mean, look at it. They break it all down into 5 seemingly effortless steps. Enter a topic. AI writes the script. This kind of language is a textbook way to create what's called cognitive ease. It takes a whole bunch of really complex tasks, script writing, voice acting, video editing, and presents it as a simple push-button solution. It makes a really difficult process seem like nothing at all.
And this slide just illustrates the value perfectly through contrast. On the left, you've got the old way. It's hard, it's slow, you need skills, you need gear. But on the right, you've got the new way. It's fast, it's easy, and it's all automated. This isn't just about saving you some time, it's about getting rid of all the friction, the cost, and the expertise that used to stop most people from even trying to create content at scale. Making videos is one thing, but how does that turn into actual money in your pocket? This next stage is where they have to connect the dots and answer that big, important question. Okay, this is cool, but how do I get paid?
And here it is, the blueprint. The pitch lays out multiple streams of income, which makes the whole opportunity feel way more robust and real. You've got your standard ad revenue, of course, but then it adds in affiliate marketing, sponsorships, even digital products. It positions this whole thing as a legitimate business building tool.
This right here, this is the absolute heart of the passive income promise. It reframes a YouTube video from being a one-time piece of content into a digital asset. Think of it like an employee that never sleeps, never takes a vacation, and can potentially earn you money or bring in leads 24/7, long after you've hit that publish button. So we've now reached the final, and maybe the most critical part of the whole funnel, the close. At this point, the listener is interested. They can see the potential, and now it's time to turn that interest into action. This is done with a really carefully planned sequence of psychological triggers. Let's see how they build up to that final push.
Right before they ask for the sale, the pitch does something really clever. It recaps all the major benefits. This is a technique called stacking the value. It reminds the listener of everything they're about to get, the ease of use, the automation, the scalability, that passive income potential. And the goal is to make the price seem tiny in comparison.
And now the psychology makes a big shift. The pitch introduces scarcity and urgency. Limited time offer, spots filling fast. These are classic marketing tactics, and they're designed to trigger our fear of missing out, or FOMO. This suddenly changes the decision in your head from, should I do this, to, should I do this right now before I lose my chance?
And it all leads up to this final call to action. It connects this huge life-changing idea, your entire future earning potential, to one single, simple, immediate action. One click. It minimizes how hard the decision feels while maximizing the potential cost of not acting. It's a really powerful way to close.
So breaking down this pitch really shows us a masterclass in persuasion, doesn't it? But it also leaves us with a much bigger question to chew on. If anyone can generate professional-looking content with just a few clicks, then the value isn't in the technical production anymore. So what is it? Is it the originality of the idea? The authenticity of the voice behind it? The strategy that goes into the content? That's the crucial question we all have to think about as these tools get more and more powerful.